BYDFi is a crypto exchange on desktop and mobile where you can spot trade, futures trade, use leverage tokens, and copy the trades of top traders. If you sign up with the link in the description, you get a free $100 when you deposit $100. There's hundreds of crypto available on their spot exchange, as well as a free test account so you can practice futures trading without getting wrecked. BYDFi. Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at this boring chart. So boring. It's been so boring for so long. Probably going to remain boring for a little while, to be fair with you. Even traditional markets are boring. Everything's boring. It's just all so boring. Even my trading bots are boring, despite making profits on a daily basis. They're really not doing much. But I suppose it's better better than nothing. Everything is so boring. So let's start, as we always do, with a bit of Forex and see where we go from there. So, I mean, to be fair, of all the moves, of all the charts and all the world, it seems that Euros had the best one. So a nice technical breakout. So we had our fake out on towards the end of the apex of the symmetrical triangle with a descending it's like a falling wedge and a breakout from that. And at the moment on the 4 hourly above all major moving averages, looking to confirm a pump signal here on the Ichicloud on a 4 hourly. Not bad. Daily, again, looking pretty good. Even confirmed a pump signal on a daily. So the euro does look good. And if you focus on the trend, basically, it has been boring for a while, really. We got the first major move up, which was good. And we've been supported on 200 exponential. So golden cross retest, up and away. Another one over here, looking for further continuation, probably up to and above 111 to be honest. Does look good. So normally what's good for euro is good for everybody else because it corresponds to Dixie bad. Now the Dixie did have a pullback, and on the daily it's nothing more than a death cross retest, so that's fine. We'll be looking for further downside on this one. But look, the lower you go, especially in this range, because that's basically what we are. We're range bound on the Dixie, between 100 to 105. It's quite a tight range, really, because if you just zoom out and have a look at the overall size of this channel, this rising channel, which is a bearish formation, it's more likely to break down than break out, but it's actually, you can see the size of it is actually quite small, and whichever way it resolves will have continuation. I have no bias on this one at the moment, but if I had to pick, I would probably say that I think that further downside is more likely than upside. But I'm not particularly sold, and that's mostly just based on the euro's strength on the short-term timeframes at the moment. So we'll have a look at the S&P futures here. For what it's worth, it's not really over. It's not even open yet. But in fact, if that's the case, we'll go to the classic. Right. So S&P, right? So the S&P on the weekly definitely still good, with pump signals and not overheated either. So stocks still look quite attractive in all fairness. Pulling back on the daily here to a Bollinger Band center, which is likely to get picked up, to be honest with you, around this level today. Don't see why it wouldn't, especially with the euro looking relatively strong and the Dixie looking quite weak. So looking for a pickup around this level. If not, then maybe we can get supported around any one of these moving averages, but maybe even just the 4,300. So again, stocks look quite attractive, I have to say. I'm not particularly bothered about the way that they look. Gold still consolidating, and on the daily here, rejection on the Bollinger Band center. So the consolidation is still in play here. And what I've said about the potential for a rotation from stocks into precious metals. That's obviously not happened yet because stocks are still moving and gold is still consolidating. But if we start to see a shift, a rotation shift, I think that's how it's going to go. And I think that gold's correlation with Bitcoin is more apparent than stocks. However, Bitcoin, you can class it as all kinds of things, couldn't you? Really, it could be Forex, could be like stocks, could be commodities, or it just could be Bitcoin itself. It doesn't slot into any particular box, really, in traditional markets. It is what it is. It's kind of separate, but it kind of can trend with each one of those markets, which makes it, well, let's just call it interesting, shall we? So let's get straight into Bitcoin now then, because it is so boring. So what we're seeing here is basically almost like a rounded top consolidation. And if that's the case on the 4 hourly, 29,003 to 29,004, which is the 200 exponential. that seems more likely to get hit now than going straight up. But in the context of the general uptrend, still very much an uptrend, right? And we do have a short signal. It was generated at 30,200, so I do favour that to play out, which definitely means 29,000, lower 29,000s gets hit, and maybe down to the 28,000, mid 28,000s. If we take it to a daily, we can see that actually the strength is still quite high. We've got a Bollinger Band here with a 21 exponential around 29,800. The 21 exponential did prove to be a decent support on this run a few days back. So if we do get supported around there, that wouldn't be unrealistic. In fact, that'd probably be quite key, to be honest with you, 29,800 as of today. So if we do pull back and bounce on that area, that could be it actually, and that could be the where the bounce takes place. Yeah, as far as momentum is concerned, it's just continuing with its downtrend. Volume is very low at the moment, so I mean, it's $500 million is not low, but obviously in comparison to the previous amount of trading, it is quite low. So it wouldn't take much to move this market up, in all fairness, and with traditional markets looking relatively strong, all but gold, I have to say. Then once we start moving, we should start moving aggressively. But until then, I think further downside is more likely than upside in the short term. But on the grand scheme of things, focusing on this trend, the trend is still good. The pump signal is still in play from the itchy cloud over here. And I think 32 and beyond is definitely on the cards. More than on the cards. I think it's more likely than lower 20s, for instance. So that gives everybody the opportunity to dollar cost average into any pullback of any significance. And that would be for Bitcoin and for altcoins. Now, we're thinking about altcoins, it's the same old deal. We're waiting for Ethereum to break 2,000. Once Ethereum is broken and supported above 2,000, we can start to look at altcoins with a bit more clarity and say, okay, well, this has a setup that might materialize into immediate gratifying trades. But for the moment, Ethereum is basically just trending with Bitcoin and not doing a great job of it, really. It's just more or less doing the same thing. We did have a golden cross retest and a V-shaped recovery, but not really any follow through from that. There is a pump signal here, though. So again, dollar cost averaging opportunity lies for further downside on any one of these, both of these charts being Bitcoin and Ethereum. And it's up to you whether you want to take the risk on altcoins with that dollar cost average scenario. I personally think it's okay to do that from a long-term strategy, dollar cost averaging into any lows that form, whether it's another 10 or 20% drop from now, from where these altcoins are right now. I think that's reasonable. You buy them, you hold them, stake them for we'll call it investment or long-term hodl opportunities. But in the very short term, if you're looking to trade altcoins, other than the odd one here or there, which I think CRV was looking quite good today, and it's nice to see that finally HyperTraders put KuCoin back on here. That's going to help my live streams a lot more. But CRV actually looks quite good. But the average altcoin is not going to benefit too much in this sideways environment until Ethereum can at least get above that 2,000, which is going to add more weight and more power to the total 2 chart, which is where altcoins can rally simultaneously. But I do like the idea of buying into these for the long haul. CRV, yeah, I mean, just as an example, this one has been on a decent rally for the last couple of weeks here. And on the 4 hour, we got a golden cross, a bit of a messy retest, working on the V-shaped recovery. I think that we do go further on than this one. Obviously, finding a rejection around the mid 80-cent zone or whatever. This isn't a video about CRV. I'm just showing you that not every altcoin is created equal. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it with you there. There's not much more to say. It's very early on Mondays, and so we'll let the markets tell us what they want to do and which direction they want to go over the next few days. But it's generally quite boring. And as you can probably hear, I've got a 3-year-old calling for me now, so she needs some form of attention, which is fine because these charts really don't require any attention at all today. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.